12월 5일 일요일 오후 2시 28분 시작합니다. Concerns about Japan's future. On September 2nd, 1945, representatives of the Japanese government signed the instrument of surrender on the deck of the USS Missouri, anchored in Tokyo Bay. So ended perhaps the most reckless of all modern wars, the outcome of which was decided by U.S. technical superiority even before it started. Japan had already lost in material terms when it attacked Pearl Harbor in 1940. The United States produced roughly 10 times as much steel as Japan did, and during the war the difference grew further. The devastated Japanese economy did not surpass its pre-war peak until 1953. But by then, the foundations had been laid for the country's specular rise. Soon its fast-selling exports ranged from the first transistor radio, Sony, to the first giant crude oil tankers, Sumitomo. The first Honda Civic arrived in the United States in 1973, and by 1980, Japanese cars claimed 30% of the U.S. market. In 1973 to 74, Japan totally depended on crude oil importers, was hit hard by the Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries (OPEC's) decision to quadruple the price of its oil exporters, but the country adjusted rapidly by purchasing energy efficiency, and in 1978 it became the world's second largest economy after the US. By 1985, the yen was so strong that the United States, feeling threatened by Japanese importers, forced the currency devaluation. But even afterward, the economy soared. In the 5 years following January 1985, the Nikkei index rose more than threefold. It was too good to be true. Indeed, the success reflected the working of an enormous bubble economy dividend by inflated stock and real estate price. In January 2000, 10 years after its peak, the Nikkei was at half its 1990 value, and only recently has it risen above even that low mark. Iconic consumer electric manufacturers like Sony, Toshiba, and Hitachi now struggle to be profitable. Toyota and Honda, global automotive brands once known for their unmatched reliability, are recalling millions of vehicles. Since 2014, Takata's defective airbags have resulted in the biggest recall of a manufactured part ever. In 2013, GS Yuasa's unreliable lithium-ion batteries caused problems for the new Boeing 787. Add to this frequently changing governments, the March 2011 tsunami followed by the Fukushima disaster, constant concerns about an unpredictable North Korea, and worsening relationship with China and South Korea, and you get a worrisome picture indeed. And there is an even more fundamental problem. In the long run, the fortune of nations are determined by population trends. Japan is not only the world's fastest aging major economy. Already, every fourth person is older than 65, and by 2050, that share will be nearly 40%. Its population is also declining. Today's 127 million will shrink to 97 million by 2050. And forecasts show shortage of the young labor force that needed in construction and healthcare. Who will maintain Japan's extensive and admirably efficient transportation infrastructure? Who will take care of the millions of old people? By 2050, people above the age of 80 will outnumber the children.